Donna. I'm Brad. This is Donna. Hey, I'm going to play 2 videos and then the opening, and then we'll talk. Okay, here we go.
For me, it has been a tough week. Tough. My wife is mad. She spent over $150 on Rob Lowe face creams and lotions last Christmas. And almost 6 months later, I still look like me.
Yeah.
But gooier. I'm just gooier.
Okay, that was one.
Wendy's hamburger restaurants are for sale. Did you see that? Anybody want to buy Wendy's? Carl's Jr.'s is interested, but wants a no commitment trial of the merger before signing a deal. A spokesman for the restaurant with the little redhead on its logo said, "There will be no in and out with Wendy till Carl shows us where's the beef."
Oh my.
That one was creepy and about beef.
Okay.
1,000 Questions is an entertaining discussion of marriage. We aren't telling you to do or feel or change anything about your life. Really, just listen and enjoy. And if you need real help, find a professional for your specific problem. We don't know you. How could we speak to your deal? Okay, have fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Brad Tassell. We've got some weird echo going on, but I want everyone to notice the DR in front of Donna Wilburn. You are now incredible. Wow. I'm going to turn the sound down. Talk some more so I can see how the sound.
Hello. I don't hear the echo.
Okay, I've turned myself down. Maybe my volume was up way too high. Well, Donna, it was a long process. Now you're a doctor. What can you do better than you did before?
Charge more money.
That is exactly right. Raise your prices. I think that's the most important thing in therapy is getting more money and weeding out the poor people. Let their marriage fall apart.
That's what our interns are for.
That's what you send the new candidates to deal with the cheap people, and you get all the really expensive people because they need the real help.
I got 20 years experience. I think I can charge more than the average Joe.
That's true. But the problem, though, I guess my point is that I guess in the world of healthcare, why are we in a world, and I guess we all know the answer, why are we in a world where you have to be richer to be better, have better health, better quality care? The richer you are, the better you can be. I mean, that just
I think it's an insurance company thing. They own the world.
I know, which is why you think we should have universal health care of all types.
Sure,
I think so too.
Everything, and then they can just pay if they want something different. Then you can pay different for that. But if they paid providers what they should be getting paid, we wouldn't need to worry about charging extra or whatever.
Well, that's socialism, Donna, and you've just turned us into a communist country. Because
oh gosh. Oh no!
Only the rich deserve these things. Anyway, so hey, here's my question of the day. So let's start with the first one. Was that new joke that I wrote that I think is cute, where my wife 6 months ago bought me all these Rob Lowe creams, and after 6 months, I still don't look anything like Rob Lowe. I don't look any better. So is that more of a man or a woman thing, where you buy this stuff for your spouse and then you get mad that it's not changing them?
So you tell me, as women wear all that Victoria's Secret lingerie.
Well, but that's something different. That's you like how they look, and you put them in something hot because you like how they look.
Is that what it is?
Well, yeah, of course. So this is, okay, I need you to change how you look, lose weight, stop doing that, do your hair the way I want, get rid of that.
Yeah, guys don't say that at all. Never. Mm-mm.
Are you being sarcastic now?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. So it's a lot more men being that pathetic.
I think men are going to be a bit more on the visual criticism, like how you look, than a typical woman would be.
Yes. So, but I don't think we're totally immune. No, I think some
No.
women are.
Oh yeah, they'll be, this is what I hear from women. It's how the dude dresses,
Mhm.
like their clothing, that women have more of a thing about what they're wearing. And a dude seems to have more of a thing about their body, like a woman's body getting too chubby or round or whatever. I haven't really heard complaints about wrinkles. That's a weird commercialism thing, because I haven't really heard people complaining my partner has too many wrinkles.
Well, but you get that, you start getting old, you got to start getting their face gets all pruny and stuff like
Yeah,
that. I don't
because
know.
that's age.
Well, I know,
We
but well, I guess then, instead of complaining about the wrinkles, you just go get the 23-year-old and
I
then
guess
you don't have to worry
if
about
you
that.
don't want an aging process, which if someone does not accept and are okay with the aging process as your partner, then there's something wrong with them and you probably don't need to be with them.
Yeah, but there's a lot of those out there. Okay, so here's a
There
quick
are.
story. I'm on this
Don't
last
hang
cruise.
with them.
I'm on this last cruise, and this guy comes up to me. He's about 48, let's say just under 50, and he says, "Loved your show. Thought you were great. Amazing." All of a sudden, from downstairs, this girl's waving at Starbucks. We're at Starbucks in Newport. He's like, "Oh, I'm up here, honey." I'm like, "Oh, it's his daughter." Nope, his wife. Okay, so she's 26, 27. They've been married for, I think they told me 6 or 7 years. So since she was 19, and he is about 19 or 20 years older than her. So they come up, she's talking to me, and it's really startling that they're different. And then they say to me, "We can't wait for your adult show," where I do a huge bit about how horrible men are that dump their wives for young women. And I said, "Okay, I guess when you come to my show, I guess that'll be okay." And they had no idea what I was talking about. But then I did see them on the last day of the cruise, and they said they loved the show. They did not mention that bit, even though it's a
So you
main.
actually went to that show and
They
you
did
did
go to
that
the show, and they said they loved it, and they came up and they were joking about, I think most of these relationships, they joke about the age difference. She was joking about how old and he passes out early. She was joking about how she doesn't know anything. I think they all kind of keep that as a running play in their heads all the time anyway.
Is that like morbid humor? Like, yeah, we
Yeah,
know.
well, you have to recognize the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
And this one was, this girl looked way, way younger than this guy. She was 28. She still looked 21.
But there are people, like, there are valid attractions. Like, I don't want to say it's bad to have, it depends on why, right? So it's not like I need my woman to look like she's 25 forever. And as soon as she's looking old, I'm going to toss her and get one that looks like they're 25. Like, that's a different intention, is I want you to look young forever.
Yeah.
Versus, like, there are people who are compatible, who have like really good bond and a really good relationship, and they get along really well with each other, they are of different ages.
Yeah, but in many cases, though, sure, they have that good bond, but he didn't find that bond until he's already been married to this one for 25 years.
I've seen it. I've seen
and
where,
then
like,
he finds a bond with another one and dumps the first one.
No, that I have seen relationships where, like, let's say it's a dude with a younger girl, where he had no intentions and was not even attracted to younger girls. Like, it wasn't even a thing. Like, he's like, I want me a younger girl. It wasn't even a thing. Going about his life, like doing his thing, and just like it just happened that this person he's talking to, they develop a bond. No, I'm telling you, there are healthy relationships out there with major age discrepancies.
I didn't say there weren't. I'm just saying, though,
You're stereotyping again.
Well, but in this case, he told me she was the new one and told me about his 2 kids with his other wife that he'd been with 20 years before. Not sure she was the nanny, but so my point is there's lots of people, I'm sure, out there somewhere for you and I. There's a person 20 years younger that we'd be very compatible with, but you're also compatible with the person you're with. There's more than one person you're compatible with.
You're not necessarily compatible with the person you're with. Things happen.
Well, but
People
that
change.
you should, but I don't know. Well, you're right. You shouldn't have been with them in the first place. I guess.
No, that's not how it goes. Like, let's
but
say
then you're hurting your kids. You're hurting all these people.
No.
Because I don't know.
You're doing a weird generalizing. Divorces don't always happen because they're just like, I quit, I'm out of here. That's not how it works. Sometimes, like, let's say addiction may be in there and the person can't get past their addiction.
Yeah, he's addicted to a 19-year-old. Yes, he's addicted. I can't help it. I've got to leave. I'm addicted to this 19-year-old nanny that we hired.
Terrible. Do a lot of guys think like that?
No, they think the other way. They think they like your way. They love your way. You're right, honey. Maybe it's just not right and compatible. I've got to have a 12-year-old. Well, not 12. I've got to have a 19-year-old. You're right. They think like you. You're the perfect person for a guy to come in with his wife of 40 years and say, hey, look, we're not compatible anymore. I'm going with the 22-year-old because I can.
Gosh.
You're the perfect therapist.
Terrible. Age is like hair color to me.
But I'm not talking about age. I'm talking about just throwing a relationship away because you get bored for a week and you find another little hottie that will take you for now.
And then I'd say good riddance, right?
Yeah.
Good riddance.
But I think people justify saying your thing and then they do that thing.
And then they do that.
That's right.
Okay.
Don't you think?
Do you think people need my thing to justify what they're doing? Because usually they come up with all kinds of reasons to justify what they're doing.
Come on. How many people come in and expect you to take their side?
Oh, gee, none. Yeah, all of them. Of course.
All of them do.
Of course. And I go, I don't do good guy.
You take the side of the guy to go with the nanny.
I had a couple come in and it's like they literally wanted me to do good guy, bad guy. Like, you're the good guy, you're the bad guy. And I'm like, I refuse. Both of you contributed.
They both wanted that. They both wanted you to take their side.
They both wanted me to do the other person.
Against the other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm like, nope.
Well, how many times do you take their side, though? Somebody's side?
No, it doesn't work like that. Relationships are systems. You can't be like, if the brakes are going, it's the other brake's fault. It's like the brakes are going, period. Fix the brakes. Like you don't pick that one. It's that fault. No, it's a whole combination of things.
But come on. Sometimes you got two people and one is clearly just a masochistic, hateful, terrible person.
Then the other person is contributing by tolerating it.
Well, I know, but you agree when you got some guy who comes in who's just some abusive pig.
Well, what's the worst issue? The person doing that kind of behavior or the person tolerating that kind of behavior? Who has the biggest issue?
Yeah, but maybe the person tolerating is being, not only manipulated, but also scared or worried or, you know what I mean?
Still an issue.
I mean, have you leaned in and said, honey, you need to find a shelter?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, there you go.
I'm like, make a safety plan. Get your safety plan.
That's my guess is then you're taking, I would call that you're taking their side though.
Okay. You can call it what you want. I call it different, but.
By the way, the second video that played, the one where Wendy's is for sale and Carl's Jr. is trying to have sex with the Wendy's franchise without buying it.
Where's
Later,
the beef?
that's going to be, our quiz is going to be about something like that. So, okay, here we go.
Hamburgers? I can do hamburgers. Hamburgers?
It's a hamburger quiz. Yes.
Okay.
Where's
what
the beef
hamburger are you?
It's a long one, everybody.
A paragraph. Someone wrote you a paragraph.
Well, women are always mad about this.
Oh.
Why do men think women I like people, they don't try very hard with the grammar. Why do men think women's sex drive should remain the same after having children? When child's sick, hungry, or well, we tend to them.
Okay, half of you cut out in the first part of that. Say it again.
Really?
Yeah, it went.
I'm sorry. Why do men think women's sex drive should remain the same? You got that?
Okay.
After having children, or when the child is sick, or hungry, or well. I don't know what or well mean. When your kid's well, you still have to have sex. We tend to them, meaning they have to tend to them sexually after all these things. Why do men feel that? And I feel like she really just doesn't want to have sex at any point, at any time now.
It said, why do men think women's sex drive has to be up there even when the kids are sick and there's things to do and we, got stuff all over the place? We're supposed to be, hey, let's have sex right now.
Or well. Sick or well, or hungry, right? Or even hungry.
Even when they're well, we have things to do.
Yes, okay? or hungry. The kids are hungry. Right? No sex.
To do.
No sex.
Okay, so why do men think women's sex drive should be the same? I would say they're projecting and they lack empathy.
That I agree with.
That's why.
I think, although I think about this, you just, depending on your husband, you could take one for the team in about 30 seconds, if you just
oh, that's nice. That's what we want to do with
horrible.
Our bodies.
That's horrible.
That's good.
Okay.
That's how we want to think.
But here's
one for the team.
Yeah, take one for the team. Another thing that'll be kind of in this quiz later. But but my thought is, though, two things. One is, you're right. Of course, sex drives do change. And even as you get older, and expecting it whenever you want it at any moment is stupid. That's crazy. And you need to have empathy and understanding. But I think there's another side when the list your wife is making includes, when they're well, when the kids have a test tomorrow at school, when the cheese grater's dirty, when suddenly I think you've got more of a problem than just life being of tumult, and that she just doesn't have a sex drive.
You got a husband who's not helping. That's what you got.
That could happen too. That could be true. Your husband's not helping. So you're saying
that sounds like an overwhelmed woman who has to do everything, and he just wants, hey, let's have sex now.
That's right. He won't do anything. So what you're saying is, if the husband does a bunch of stuff, then
frees up some time in there.
Frees up some time to have sex, because realistically, the sex should be, gentlemen, a plus. It should be something that is enjoyed by everyone and should be relaxing, and you feel better after it. Not that you've just gone through a battle.
Mm-hmm.
I do a joke now where we talk about sex as you're getting older, that it's the process. It's harder on your body, and my wife says that after we have sex, it feels like she rode a really brutal wooden roller coaster. Just your whole body.
I can understand that, mister.
You're sore and I know, because she makes me wait in line a good 20 minutes every time. I gotta wait in line now. That's the problem. It's a line of people for 20 minutes. So men out there, listen to Donna.
Get a fast pass. What? Get a fast pass.
Yes. Well, and the fast pass is do the dishes. I think that's the fast
there
pass.
You go. There you go.
Or the even faster pass is just do it yourself. Just do your
she could use the break too.
She could use the break too, and you could just finish up yourself and tell her, honey, I did it myself. We're good. Let's just I'll save you next time.
Women do enjoy sex, okay?
They do. Well, hopefully, or the ones that don't, their list gets longer and longer.
Oh my gosh.
Why they can't have sex, because you're not doing it very well.
Okay. Watch what happens if that guy does. If that guy does all the chores for a week, he's going to get more action than he even wanted.
Okay? I totally agree with that. But unless he's really bad at it and you haven't worked out your sexual problem where she's never been enjoying sex in the first place.
That would be a problem.
That is a problem. Then,
a problem.
then sex drive is a good way to kind of push it aside anyway. And then you've got other problems you need to work out.
My out.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. Now I can just say, I am not feeling it.
Can you tell when you have two people in there and they're saying one thing, but they mean another?
Like, for example,
this, like she's saying, oh, my sex drive is lower because of the kids and all this, when it really is, he's always sucked at it and he's never tried or learned or want to grow.
Well, that might take a little getting to, but when you hear all those excuses, it does mean we might have a desire issue. And desire is really related to stress. Chronic stress will kill desire in a female. And so you're like, oh, it's not the dishes. It's not that he's not doing chores. There's something else going on here. I think this is I would say a codependent, overwhelmed, stressed out female.
What questions do you ask to find out that he needs help doing it?
I would probably talk to them separately and ask about, like, do you enjoy intimacy? If it's not really, then I have to figure out, is it the desire or is it the performance? And I'm like, do you just not desire it at all? Do you not pleasure yourself? They're like, oh no, I totally desire to pleasure myself. Just don't want to with him. I'm like, does it hurt? Is there a reason? And they could be like, he smells or something like that. And then I'm like, oh, you're not talking about, you should be talking about these things, solving the problem rather than avoiding the problem.
That didn't use but
You totally are cutting out.
Oh, cutting out. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
My internet
but you can
is-
tell your
my
visual.
internet is- My internet is suffering. I can feel it. I can see
is
it on my
suffering.
board. But you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay. So, and now I'll try to remember what I said. Oh, as you get older, like I think, and I do this in the act, when you're young, you fall into sex. Doesn't matter if you've showered, doesn't matter if you've done any of these things. Now, I would say that the preamble to sex, foreplay, is her picking every hair out of in between my eyes and my ears and as long as once she picks all those hairs out, then the excitement begins.
Oh my gosh. You know what is great foreplay though is yoga.
Yoga. Yeah.
Doing yoga together.
I think that is a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, because that'll get you nice and relaxed and your stress will go down and then you will enjoy yourself more and your desire goes up. And
Are you naked when you do this yoga?
That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yes. Although I don't know, because depending on some positions, though, I'm not sure I want to see that. The spread eagle might be rough. Downward
for a guy to see.
For her to see.
I
don't think there's a lot of position. No, there's no position that my wife would like to see. Every position is something I don't think I want her to see. Spread downward dog. I just don't think I want to see the angles that I don't think I want anyone to see.
They probably have some like specific yoga poses that are good to do while nude as a couple.
Well, I mean, the whole Kama Sutra thing is kind of.
Oh, right. Well, that's like that's actually having sex while you're doing it, right? That's not just a pose. That's like you're actually fooling around.
But
I'm talking about just a yoga pose.
A lot of those, though, are not possible. I don't bend that way. And
it's possible if you do yoga a lot.
No, I mean my thing doesn't bend that way. They want you to like
like an S.
Yeah, they want you to go around the corner, and I don't have, you got to have porosis or whatever that's called. Got to have, and I can't do that. So, okay, let's skip that one and go to this.
Somebody can do that, and that's a very talented person.
Yes. Well, and I can't handle the weight of some of them either. Lean on this and have her hang on that. And no, I can't do it anymore. Should I be proud or concerned if my son has multiple girlfriends?
Oh, like, is this a good thing or a bad thing? I'm not a big fan. I'm gonna say, I would say there's maybe a anxiety about commitment, or someone's ego needs a little extra. I
Well,
would
I
say
think
it's
it's the
probably
ego and
not the
also,
sign of healthiest.
yeah. Well, and you're lying to somebody. You're
Well, it
lying.
depends, because the girls may know. It may not be a lie. Like, there are girls that will tolerate that out there,
Yeah. Well, but you're saying tolerate it. And I wish they wouldn't have to. You know what I mean? They feel like they have to, or they do. Yeah. So
The
you're right.
insecurity. Some girls don't have the self-worth to think that they can be the only one. So
Now, here's the other question, though. But does that preclude dating? Like, okay, this girl and I went out once. It was okay. I went out with this girl over here one night. How does that work? How are you dating different people? And are you in a relationship with every person you go out with then?
So don't you think there are levels of intimacy? So
Exactly.
like, you go level 1, hi, how are you?
Yeah.
Level 2, arm around each other. Level 3, now you're kissing. Level, like, home base, right? So
Level 5. Oh, okay.
so to me, dating is first base. Like, you're just, hi, how are you? Let's hang out,
Yeah. So you
But if you
can
want to
have.
go to third base, you probably should be in a relationship.
Well, but he says has multiple girlfriends. I don't know exactly what that means.
Yeah, I don't know.
Guess when you
Maybe
say
his
girlfriend, you've made a commitment to somebody.
It does sound like that. Like, he's in multiple relationships, which I would say does not sound healthy.
Yeah. I mean, if he's planning this whole schedule where this one can't meet that one, and you got to hear that, and you go to this one, and you're multiple nights, and you're having sex with this one and that one and that one and that one, then all right, buddy, woo. No, I'm just kidding. Then I think somebody's being. I don't think the girls are in for that. Do you?
I think it would be like, if you wouldn't want it for your daughter, why do you want it for your son?
Exactly. Maybe he's jealous, and you're right. Maybe he wishes he could have that.
Or maybe it's his mom, like, and she's like, should I worry? I'm like, if you wouldn't want it for your daughter, why do you want it for your son?
That's true. Why
do you have that gender discriminating thing happening?
I always say, ask yourself what the other person in the relationship would think of what you're doing. And if they don't like it, don't tell them. Okay. So now this one, I think this person is just needing to learn how to rewrite the question. It says, sex and a child. Tell me the secret. The secret is don't write down sex and a child.
That's a no.
That's a no. The answer, do you mean having sex and you have children and having sex? Then that's something else. But
like, is it like how to make, so I'm thinking like super abbreviated. I'm going to go with the optimistic of how to maintain your sex life when you have children.
Sex and a child. Never write that. That's your next.
Yeah, that is not the direction you want to go.
No matter what you mean,
easy answer is no.
The answer is no. Okay. How do you react when your husband tells you he wants to be a woman?
Like, how far into that do I want to go? Like, operation to be a woman, or just dress like a woman?
Both.
So at 30 years in, okay, I think at 30,
you're married 30 years,
35 years in, okay, and my husband goes, I want to dress like a woman. Honestly, by this time, I probably wouldn't care.
Dress, okay, so big deal. Dress now always, like either on the side.
I don't even care, like whatever. So I wouldn't even. Honestly, our relationship is so more complicated than what he's wearing. Okay,
so you would be fine if your husband now started just wearing, like, let's say, even like the same clothing B. Arthur
It
wore.
would probably have to be muumuus and stuff because he's kind of muscular. So it would probably have to be like loose clothing. But
You'd be out, you'd go into all the stuff you go to now.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. But
Now,
if he said, I want to transform.
You know what, though, Timmy? I don't think there always is signs.
There aren't always signs. And sometimes people find their own, like later on, they'll be like in touch with their own self. And they're like, oh my gosh, I did not realize about myself that I want.
You can hide this stuff. You can hide this stuff easy for 30 years.
Yeah, I have a lot of clothes. He could just be wearing all mine.
Yeah, I think you're going to. And even farther, I mean, Caitlyn Jenner, for God's sakes. The whole family.
So let's say then my husband says, I want to transform into a woman.
Transition.
I want to have breasts and a vagina. Okay. Yeah. That might be a little challenging because I'm like so not attracted to female bodies. Okay.
Yes.
So I'd be like, gosh. Then I'd probably have to go into the friend zone. I'd probably have to go like, love you and all. But either I may have to have someone on the side for like intimacy, or
but you would stay married.
It depends. It depends on like what, because like, why would I be in an intimate relationship with someone if I wasn't in a relationship with them? Or why would I be married to someone if we're just friends? I don't know. That would be like really complicated.
Well, I think what would happen once that transition started happening, the transmission, you would have more than one gear, but you would, you wouldn't be able to do that anymore. So anyway, I think the transition would be more than just the the gender of the person, because they would transition in so many ways that really it's not the same relationship in any way.
It's like not the same person.
Yeah, it's not even the same person in any way. So,
but they have the same like values. They would have the same, family oriented, kind, smart, like, but that would be like what I'd have as a friend.
Yeah. And that's what you would have. But I still think you would end up divorcing and then having, because it's not, also now suddenly not, what you're attracted to.
Would I not want to live with them because I've lived with them for 35 something years? If he was a woman, like I still love the person.
Yeah. Well, so you make these decisions as you go along.
Yeah. Like maybe it changes slowly and you either still hang or you are like, yeah, I gotta find someone to be intimate with. But like, why would I just go to find someone to be intimate with? I have this like best friend person. And then I'm like, well, we can be intimate, but not in the way we used to be. Yeah. And I'm just like, those body parts don't do it for me. So I'm like,
and a lot of things would change. It wouldn't just be the body parts, facially, just the whole, all the hormones.
Like if he was a macho looking woman, like if he was a whole muscular looking woman, I guess that might be something.
What I think the deal is, and then we'll do the quiz when we get done with this, but I think the deal is, though, that we keep thinking the transition is going to be in an hour and a half, when a transition like that. Now, just wearing the clothes, you're right. That could be a surprise. He's been wearing women's clothes for 10 years and now has decided, I want to do this all the time. Mm-hmm. That one could be, wow, quick adjustment. But to change genders is a many, many, many year process. You will see it building over time as they start the hormones, then start to buy. So at any point in that timeline is when you either have to keep sticking with it, or then you're at a point you're like, nope, we've come to the point. This is it. Now I can't handle it anymore. Yeah,
I don't know. I couldn't even tell you what I would do.
What would you do if you had two people sitting in front of you and, now he's...
I'd have to go with where they're at. Like, can they, is this a mental block if they're having a hard time, or is it like really a major obstacle? Like I'd have to like, is it because they're anxiety and embarrassed, or is it because, are they having a hard time because of what society thinks? Are they having a hard time because of what their parents think? Like, you have to like figure out what is causing that challenge, and can I help them with it, or they just don't want it.
And you think this is almost exclusively, but not always, mostly exclusively men that want to transition to women? Or are there this undercurrent of women who want to be transitioned to men and they're married to some guy? Or do women usually who have in that sphere don't end up with guys anyway because they don't want it in the first place? And
No, I have seen female relationships, but they were a lesbian couple.
Yes.
Where one of them transitioned to being a male.
No, I've seen that. But I'm saying just like a relationship where it's a guy and his wife and they've got a family, and then she's like, nope, I feel like being a dude.
I think that has the woman done it? No, but I think I have had where a guy became female during the marriage. Yeah. I think that has come across my path.
Yes. I just think that's more prevalent. So here it is. Arranged marriage.
Everybody wants to be female. We're so cool.
The what?
I said everybody wants to be female because we're so cool.
That's true. That's true. So arrangement, because there's still, I'd say in the world, half the marriages, I'm just guessing, are still arranged marriages. And is that a bad thing? Is it a bad thing? So you can decide right now whether you should have an arranged marriage or real one. When you like someone, do you usually prefer to make the first move? In Donna's case, yes. Right to the sack.
Do I prefer?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a preference. I don't hesitate. So like
says it depends on the situation. I don't think that out should be there. It should be yes or no. You shouldn't get to say it depends on the situation, because everything in the world depends on the situation. So right. My thing is, I liked it in the world when I needed to know someone was attracted to me before I would make the first move.
So when they made the first move.
Well, but they didn't necessarily have to make a move. Yeah, they just had to kind of show me some sort of sign, and then I would move.
That's still the move. The sign is the move.
Yeah, but I didn't want their move to be so movie that I had to stop it.
So you prefer
move.
You prefer if they make the first move as long as it's subtle.
As long as it's subtle, and if I don't do anything, we go on with our lives without having had to worry about interaction.
Okay. But you don't want them to make a first move and be obvious.
Well, or put me in a position where I've got to let them down. Like, yeah, we are not going to, I can think of 3 instances in my life where there were women back before, I was married and dating my wife, where they really wanted to go out with me or do something with me. And I literally kind of had to say, yeah, I'm not interested in this. I'm so sorry. I wish I was. Oh my gosh, but I'm not.
Say, I do not consent. That's what you say.
I do not consent. And 2 of them were in a capacity where we were this close without a lot of clothes on, and because we were just having to share the same room, and they thought we're slipping in, and I was like, okay, no, we're just.
I do not consent.
Yeah, this is just a situation. And now that I think about it, I should have done it. No, but
add to that belt notch, right? Add to there.
Well, I feel bad for one because she was lovely. Well, they were all lovely people, and one was we were real young, and I just wasn't into it. So I just that's why I want it known that it's okay that I make a move. Does that make me a coward?
A little anxious, I would say. A little anxious.
Because
it does take bravery to make the first move, though.
Yes,
it does. It does take.
And I never had that unless I knew I was in, because I always figured no one wanted me. So how possibly could anyone want me? So when someone wanted me, it was, you know what I mean? I was,
yay!
I was like, yay! Unless then I found out that there were actually people that wanted me that I was like, no, I don't want that. Oh, that's okay.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah. And so I felt bad. So, okay. So So you believe in grabbing right for the thing, and
Oh yeah, that's how I say hello.
that's right. Hence the pregnant right away. Do you believe in soulmates?
I actually do, but I don't believe like I don't even believe that you know them. I think we have soul bonds throughout time. And like sometimes that one of those soulmates will be a spouse, sometimes they'll be your best friend, sometimes they'll be a sister or brother. Like, I believe like
that. The nanny will be more of a soulmate than your soulmate.
If the nanny is a soulmate, then
yeah,
thank
God.
No
Seems
matter
like a lot of
no matter
like
how
a
old they are.
21-year-old really hot blonde nanny seems
That's
very
your
soulmate.
That's your soulmate, right?
Yeah, it always is. It always is.
It's always your soulmate.
It's oh my God. It's every one of them seems to be the soulmate. So it's like they're born for that. I don't believe in there's almost a religious connotation to that, but I think it's stupid. But I believe that there are people who you are more attuned to than others. Now, the other problem though is there are people that you're attuned to that ain't attuned to you at all, but you would be all about being attuned to them. So it's half mates that are like, it's like, okay, you got two magnets. If they're facing the right way, there you go, right? But if you turn it, crap. And so it's mostly this. And then every once in a while it's that, but that doesn't mean that attraction isn't wrong sometimes.
Right. That doesn't mean you have to marry him.
That's right. So, but as far as arranged marriages is, I think if you hate making the first move and somebody else does, and somebody sets you up, that's good. If you don't believe in soulmates and you just want somebody nice, you can be set up and arranged. Right?
I think it's also part of soulmates could be like who you arranged to be with.
Well, I mean, you could luck out. It was
meant to be.
Yeah. I don't believe in meant to be, but you're right. You could luck out and the person that they set you up with is like, oh, wow, we are attracted to each other.
No, I think it's manifest destiny. You manifested, your energy vibe attracted, whether you met them in public or met them by being arranged, that's who you're meant to be with at the moment.
No. Then why? Yeah. No, if that was true, people would stay together.
No,
if everybody who ended up together was meant to be together.
Not necessarily meant to be together forever. Meant to be together at that moment.
You just want an out is what you want. So anyway, you're looking for.
I'm philosophical.
Yes, philosophical about ruining these relationships. Anyway, do you like making decisions?
I do.
Me too, but I also want someone that will, make some of them and have a back and forth. I don't want to make all the decisions.
I like making them. I like when they're made. I like decisions.
Yeah, although I would say most women want to make the decisions unless they don't want to make the decision. And then you better make the damn right decision, pal.
That's right.
And then if you make the wrong decision, they nix it. Nope, that's the wrong decision.
You make the decision. Wrong.
Yes, you decide. Nope, that's not it. Where are we gonna go to eat? Anywhere you want. I want to go here. Nope, that ain't.
Nope, bad choice.
Keep giving me. So you want to make the decision. You just want me to come up with a bunch of choices until I come up with a decision.
Save on the brainstorming. It saves me on the thinking.
Yes, it saves you. So, and that just makes me your secretary.
No. Okay, that
women just want a secretary, is what they want. A secretary,
yes, personal assistant, please.
That kills spiders. Is your family's disapproval a deal breaker?
No, ever.
I'm going to say no, but I believe that if you have a good family that you trust and you've grown up with and are not jerks, that they might notice things that you haven't about someone who you are just in lust with, that you are making a big mistake.
Well, You're right. Okay. So that's into consideration. Like it says, is your family's disapproval a deal breaker? No.
Yes.
Is there opinions and ideas like, will I take them into consideration? Yes.
Yeah.
But not a deal breaker.
Yeah. My wife's family, not a fan of me. Not a fan ever. And, or, so still probably not a fan, but she did it anyway. So.
Okay.
My family could care less. That's the problem. Whatever you want's fine.
They're like,
we'll treat them okay.
Someone wants to
we'll treat them okay.
Go. Do it.
And that has ruined. I don't want to go into personalities, but I think maybe if they'd have voiced some sort of opinion, we could have saved a lot of trauma 40 years ago with people. if they'd have said, maybe you want to think about this one. Maybe you want to think about this one. So, but if the disapproval is a deal breaker, then you might as well get an arranged marriage and let them figure out who you're supposed to be with. What kind of person are you? Spontaneous and passionate?
I'm probably the organized, but a little chaotic.
Yeah.
Because I do like to be planned and have a schedule and kind of know what's going on, but I'm not rigid about it.
Well, I'm too lazy for planning and sticking to it all the time. I'm just too lazy.
That's too much effort.
Well, I'll plan a little in my head and I'll do a little bit, but then I'm just going to, when it gets too rough, I'm like, it'll be what it is. You know what I mean? I'm too lazy for all that. But I'm also not spontaneous and passionate all the time either.
I don't just like, hey, let's go on a boat right now. Like I need a little planning. I want to know ahead of time.
I'm going to call the airport and get the next flight and buy it and go. You know what I mean? No, I want a little more than that. So, but which is the one with arranged marriages, if you like?
Probably planning ahead and sticking to it.
I
like to know who I'm marrying, what we're doing, when how it's going to go, like that.
This is the only one that matters in this quiz. What do you think should be the main reason to get married? Love, stability and companionship is the main reason, or D, just stability. No companionship.
Or E, just companionship.
Yeah. Well, but if you're arranged, they may not be a good companion. You know what I mean? I would go with.
I don't agree with any of these answers.
Yeah, I don't either. But if you're going to strictly go with an arranged marriage, I would think the one thing you should be able to have to count on is stability. You know what I mean? That
I would say the main reason to get married because you're having a baby.
Yes, that was yours. It's yours. You were having married.
Because you're pregnant.
Mine was my main reason. Love is in there and all that. Mine was that I like having a partner. I've always been good. A couple person where I want someone.
Well, that would be the companionship thing.
Yeah, that would be companionship. Now I can also be alone. I have no problem having my own time, my own place. Like I can go to movies alone. I don't need it because I don't like eating alone. You know what I mean? There's some people where that companionship is so important that they need somebody there for everything. I can't go to the movie alone. I can't do this alone. I can do all that stuff alone. But I also want someone, and obviously the one I chose, that is also always there too, where we can go away a bit, come back, go away a bit, come back, and bring things to each other.
So how about companionship and compatibility?
Okay, that's fine.
I like that answer.
I do too. Is your main aim of marrying one day to have children? No. Matter of fact, we didn't think we were going to have kids when we first got married.
Yeah, I didn't marry to one day have children.
You married because you're already having children.
Yeah, figured I should add that in there.
Yeah, you're having children, so you figured you
might want to get married.
Yes, you may want to get married if you want to have children. Do you think there's someone out there for everyone? I think there's multiple people out there for everyone.
I also think there's multiple people out there for everyone.
Well, okay, let me say this though. I think there's multiple people out there for me and for you. But I've met people, I'm like, there ain't nobody out there for them. This is rough.
Oh, that's sad.
This person is, I don't how the hell.
There is someone out there for everyone, I believe.
Yes.
Someone will love that person and they will love you.
But when you have to have, like sodium pentothal and handcuffs to keep it, that's the difference. So, do you believe making compromises in a marriage is more important than compatibility?
I believe you can't have compatibility without compromises.
Yeah, but is it more important?
I think they're the same thing.
Well, yeah, but if let's say you're going to compromise, and this isn't compromise to me. This is you're going to do what I say, no matter how compatible we are or not.
Okay, then I'd say no. Only compromises is codependent. No.
Well, but if you're in an arranged marriage and you're sold for a goat and 2 bottles of vodka,
but they give me the option. They say both. I'm with both. I think they're equally important.
Because if you were just sold and you had to have a dowry and now he's the guy that you're arranged to marry, then it's all compromise. If you look at those marriages, it's only compromise.
I wouldn't do good in there. I'm a little
you would not do well. No, I don't think most American people would do well, nor a lot of people now. There are still societies where that's the way it is. They just tell her, Dad says, I've sold you to Bob the butcher, so shut up and go. So, and then she has to try to figure out how to put some sort of life together, it still makes me sad. Last one. What's the most important quality in a partner? Passion, commitment, sense of responsibility. No, a nice tight butt. I think that's what I do
like that in a partner.
You like a nice tight butt, nice little walk when you walk away. And I think
where's the humor? Can you imagine all that without a sense of humor?
Oh, I know. You have to. I was saying this the other day.
I think everything's funny, or you have a ways to go.
That I think laughing and finding things funny, and that is the most important thing that we have.
Absolutely.
In this house.
Those mean nothing without a sense of humor.
That's right. And I don't know. Yeah. What passion? I just, what? Passion is annoying. I would like everyone out there. Passion is annoying. It
doesn't mean just passion for intimacy, passion for life.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm not even talking about sex. You're so passionate about all this stuff you're doing and your passion. Okay, we're going to do this stuff. Fine, but tone it down. Just come on, bring it down a touch.
I like passion. I like when people are really excited about something.
You can be excited about it, but when people are passionate, that means they're pushy about it and they're just overly.
It does not. I'm Italian. We're passionate about everything.
I'm half Italian. I'm half passionate about crap. So
you're passionate.
Yeah, I can't stand. My dad used to joke that my dad's actually half Italian. I'm more than a quarter. And he said he went to these growing up when he was a kid. His grandfather was 100% Italian and the meanest just man on the planet Earth. Just that so Italian. Just he hadn't hugged anything in his life. And they would go to the funerals of their parents and stuff. And even the men are crying and screaming, come back, Julia, come back, Julia. They're going just banging. They're so passionate, even though they hadn't talked to this idiot in 25 years. Even though, and even when they sat with him, it was like, shut up. I don't do you. You can't shut up. Their whole lives treated everybody like crap. The day they're dead, they're crying for them to be. And he said it just seemed like all such a big ruse to him, that's how. So my dad has never overtly been passionate, but always helpful and useful. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's nice. Hopefully affectionate a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit affectionate is fine. But I don't want to squander my affection by being overly affectionate all the time. It just seems, I don't know, kind of fake to me.
I do tend to get overly affectionate with my family members. Mm-hmm. I can't say that it feels fake. It's like an impulse issue. It's like like especially my granddaughter, I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I just love your face," and I'll like do this, like
Well, but
oh my gosh.
That seems different to me than somebody who is just always. I don't know. I don't even know what I know. All I know is that I'm uncomfortable with it. So, I hug like this.
Too close.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
And I'm like,
well, and anymore, if it's not your family, you just can't anyway. So you can't, like when I would talk at schools and kids want to run up and hug you, you're like, okay, thanks. Yeah, that's, you can't hug back. That's just not a thing anymore,
other people's children.
Yeah.
But
they are passionate and and they're excited to see you, and they run up and grab you, and you're like, okay. or it's even worse. Some kid runs up to hug you, you go, no. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean.
Oh, mom's there. Oh,
it was a reflex action. It was a reflex. Okay, well, Dr. Wilburn, everybody, yes. We've had fun today, except now Dr. Wilburn is twice the price. So go to Ohana, what is it? Ohana WC, what is it?
Yeah, .com.
OhanaWC.com.
All those letters like messed up my
you need to get rid of something in there, because once you got the doctor, and I don't think you do it that way. If you're going to put doctor, you don't put anything else. You put Donna Wilburn, PhD, DMFT, LM, you put all that. You only put letters on one side, I think. I think that's what you have to learn.
Is this the manners of letters?
Yes, this is the letters of how you do it. Once you go doctor, you don't put anything
proper way of putting your letters.
That's right. Yes, there's a proper. It's the APA way of putting your letters. So, well, we'll learn next time. Okay, Donna, we'll see you later. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.